guess we can start. Yeah, so good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Nyambura. So far, I think I know most of you are already familiar with me. Yeah, because it's day 3 of our Building AI workshop. And so, yeah, today we'll be building an AI powered app using Flutter and Google's Gemini. So, yeah, I'll be the speaker today. And yeah, I'm somehow nervous and also excited. So, I guess we can start. So I don't have the slides. I didn't prepare slides, but I have a GitHub repository which I created, I think, some few weeks ago. Let me check the commits. Yeah, I created it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so even at a point if I get lost, you'll have to understand it's something I did a long time ago. Yeah, and I did it at night, and usually say don't trust code that you've written at night. Yeah, so today we are going to be building Freestyle. So Freestyle is an AI-powered freestyle generator that uses Google Gemini AI to create some sort of lyrics based on the genre that you provide and also words. Let's say like right now I come and give you some words. I mean, I ask you to give me some words and then I sort of create lyrics out of those words. So that's what we're going to be building today. Yeah, so I guess we can start. So the link to the GitHub repository has been shared in the chats. It has been shared in the chats. You can follow along, you can clone it, it's open. You can clone it on your local machine, make some changes. Once you're done, you can just publish it on Play Store. There's no copyright, there's nothing. It's all free for you to work with. Yeah, so today, before we start, I just want to I want to promise you 3 things. So the first one is all of you will get to have an application by the end of this session, something that you'll get to share with someone and also, show them that you know how to integrate Gemini with Flutter. And the second thing is you're going to understand AI integration. I'm going to walk through it, how you'll do it. Yeah, and the third one is I'll try to be fast and I'll also try to be slow, that you'll understand. Yeah, so I guess we can get started. So, okay, maybe I can ask who doesn't know what Flutter is in the webinar. Who doesn't know what Flutter is? Okay, who knows what Flutter is? You can just write in the chat if you know what Flutter is. You can write in the chat what Flutter is. Or if you want to also speak, you can request for permission, presenter permission, and you'll get to speak. Anybody? Yeah, so I can see from the charts, Eric has said it's a framework for building cross-platform app, and Samuel has said it's a framework for that, and it is used to build cross-platform apps. Yeah, so Flutter is an open source framework by Google. You can go and find the code base in GitHub. You can also contribute, so that's the meaning of open source. And it's used to build cross-platform applications. That means, let's say right now if I want to build a mobile application, I've built it for Android, and then iPhone users like the application, I'll have to like sort of rewrite the whole app so that the iPhone users can be catered for. But with Flutter, you get to build everything in one code base. It will work for iOS, it will work for Android, macOS, Linux, and Windows. And that's the good thing about cross-platform development with Flutter. Yeah, Flutter has also been used to build mobile games. For those who know PUBG, it has been built with Flutter, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Okay, let me just Google because it was a room I had somewhere. Actually, not a room. I saw it on. It was a YouTube ad. Let me just try to. Yeah, PUBG was built with Flutter. For those who play PUBG, you can also drop your IDs after this, and you can get to to go for a match. I think I'll go back now to the repository. So by the end of the session, you'll get to build a complete AI-powered Flutter app and integrate Google's Gemini for the lyric generation, or rather the content, and you also get to deploy your application using Firebase app distribution. So this allows you to like add testers to your app, and maybe for those who might not have a Google Play console, you'll find that you can use Firebase app distribution to publish your application and share it to people. So I'll walk you through that. And yeah, so everything is actually just step by step. I created this README file as some sort of a documentation which you can use while we are working on this talk. Yeah, so I guess I'll share my whole window because I'll be working with very many different windows. So I'll share my entire screen actually. So I'll stop sharing and let me share my entire window, my entire screen, window screen, tab, entire screen. Yeah. So yeah, I guess my screen is okay. And in case you have any question, you can drop it in the chat, in the Q&A. If you're shy, there's the DM part. Or you can also request for moderator permission, presenter permission, and yeah, you'll get to ask your question. So the first step we're going to clone this repository. So for those who maybe are new into tech, by cloning the repository means it's sort of downloading this whole project into your local machine so that you can be able to work with it. So yeah, I think I'll just open Git bash. You can open up your terminal depending on whatever operating system you're using. I usually prefer Git bash. So I'll go back to the repository. Yeah, and so I'll have first of all to clone this. And you'll just come and paste it there. So what it does, this is a git command, git clone, and this is the repository, github.com/alexmaniki. That's my username. Freestyle is the name of the repository. So once you do that, I'm on my desktop. Once I do the cloning, I'll have the whole project on my local machine. So if I do ls is a Linux command that tells you to list everything that is here, and my parent directory is the desktop, so it will list everything that is in the desktop. And you can see that I have various files and directories, and you can see I have freestyle. So with freestyle I can now use cd freestyle. So this allows you to like enter into that directory. So you can I'll just type it. I'm not a fan of the copy pasting because it's something simple here. So if I do cd freestyle, cd means change directory. That means open up freestyle. This is same to if you're using a graphical user interface, just double tap in the freestyle folder. Yeah, so right now you can see I'm in the desktop, I'm in freestyle. And the other command you're going to do a Flutter pub-get. So this project has come with various dependencies which are stored in the pub-spec YAML file, and I want to download all those packages so that I can work with them. Yeah, so think of it as this way. A package is like, how will I describe it? Yeah, so this is like something that we need to work with the project. Like, let's say I had used Google Fonts. So there's a package for Google Font which I want to use in the project. So everything is configured in, okay, think of it as some sort of I want to make food. I'll need some sort of a recipe that I've written it down, and okay, not a recipe, it's called like a grocery list, which I'll have to I want to get everything from this grocery. Wah, Ukikuyu imeingia. Yeah, so from that list, so that I can get all that. Yeah, so from there, I guess I'll just do the Flutter pub get, and it will download everything that it has been told to from the pubspec YAML file. So give it some time depending on your internet speed and it will download. Yeah, and currently you can see there's a new version of Flutter which is available, and we are not going to do that, otherwise this talk will end tomorrow. Yeah, because I don't trust in my internet speed. So once it's installed, I think I can just close this and I'll open up Android Studio. You can use any IDE of your choice, but in this case I'll work with Android Studio, though I'm not a fan. I'm just doing this so that I can also share my phone screen. And you can see that Android Studio also has a new update from Meerkat to Nawal. Yeah, so I'll give it some time to open up, and once I'm in Android Studio, I'll come and do open. I was in desktop, so desktop and freestyle. So freestyle is the folder that I want to work with. So I'll do select the folder, and Android Studio will open the freestyle project for me. So I'll give it some time. Okay, at that point, does anyone have a question? Yes, Eric, we are all Kikuyus. We are all Kikuyus. Yes. So yeah, so my project has been opened with Android Studio, and you'll find a lot of, okay, I just updated Android Studio today, so I'll just close apps and everything. Yeah, so this is how the project structure looks like, YAML file. So for those who are familiar with JavaScript, you know, there's this package, the JSON, where you get to download various packages. So in Flutter, we usually use the pubspec YAML file. My laptop has now become slow because we're using Android Studio. I guess I'll reduce some. Okay, just leave it that way. Yeah, so you can see these are some of the dependencies that we were using. I'm using the glassmorphism, flutter.env. This is for allowing us to store Gemini API key, and we don't want to like do it that way just in the code, just for security. We're going to be using provider for state management, Google Fonts for our fonts, and HTTP to make our request. We're going to be working with post request because we'll be making an API call to Gemini API. The generative AI allows you to do this, but to do this, yeah. So Android Studio usually comes when it's half a screen. That I think let's go back. What else we? Okay, so the other step is we're going to set our environment variables. I already created there's an .env file. You can just come and copy it. So you can choose to go with that command of cp example.env to .env. So I'll just explain this command. What it does, cp tells you to copy, and then the example.env is a file that already there. I created it. It will act as a placeholder. And then we have the .env, which will now be the new file that will be created, and it will have exactly what was in the example.env. Yeah, but since I've closed my terminal and okay, let me just open it here. Although I'm not a fan of PowerShell, I'm not sure if PowerShell. So I'll cp example.env and .env. So it has created a new a new file called .env, and it has copied everything that was in the example.env to the env. So you can see that the env file requires us to have our Gemini API key. In the previous session, we already showed you how to do that, but I'll go and get an API key so that you can see. So I usually use aistudio.com, aistudio.google.com/API key, and I'm going to create a new API key. So I'm going to create an API key. We'll link it to our cloud project. Let me use this. Yeah, and I'm going to do it. So Google will provide for us an API key which we'll use to access Gemini. I think I'll share this in the chat. Yeah, okay, if you think I'm too fast, you can also tell me. Maybe for those who are coding along. Yeah, that's the API key. Once you've gotten it, I'll just come and copy it here. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one who's obsessed with copying like 100 times, but we just paste one. So I'll just paste my API key. So the reason we're using the .env file is, okay, when we're using our .env file, and then we come to git ignore, we usually add the env file to prevent the API key from being pushed, maybe to GitHub. You can find that, let's say I decided to use my API key just like that, and I push it to GitHub. People can just come and use it, and you'll find that one morning I can wake up with an email from Google telling me that they've billed me a certain amount because I had like 1,000 people using my API key, and therefore maybe I might have exhausted my free limit and now I'm using the paid limit, the paid version of it. So it's a good thing to keep your keys secure. Right now I know it's not secure, but after this session I'll just have to go to AI Studio and delete this API key. Yeah, so I think after that we can now, once we've copied our API key, I've showed you how to get your Gemini API key. I'm going to show you how exactly the Gemini integration works. We have an API service layer, which is, okay, mostly you'll find that all the files you'll be working with are in the lib directory. You can see that these are the files that I work with. These other files are just there for, yeah, like you can see I have for Android, iOS, web. I didn't configure it for macOS and Linux and all that. So yeah, so I'll go to the services file, the Gemini service file, and there's a code that I want you to see. So yeah, I'm looking for something. Yeah, so there's this line of code here, this code snippet. So this acts as our heart. This is the heart of our AI integration. I think I'll explain it one by one. Yeah, so this response acts as a variable. It's a variable that we'll use to hold the answer that we'll get from Google. You can see that I'm making a post request to this URL. The URL is stored in the app constants. Okay, let me explain it well. Okay, so we have the final response. Or think of this like, let's say, creating a box to hold whatever response we'll get from YouTube. So I've just decided to call it response, but you can call it in any way you want. In programming, we call that a variable. And then await, it's just like telling, what are we telling? It's like we're telling the application, like just wait, because right now we are speaking to Google's Gemini's API, and we want to sort of wait. So await is usually, it's just like telling the application to wait. We get a response from Google's AI before we can now proceed to the next step. Yeah, and then for http.post, this is if you worked with APIs before, you know that we have various requests. We have a GET request, which is like getting a resource from a server, we have a post request. Post request is providing a resource to a server or other information. And this is what we are doing. We're going to be giving Gemini some information so that we can get back a response. I'll show you what that information is. So I have app constants, Gemini API URL. This is in the constants folder. Yeah, and you can see the Gemini API URL. I can also decide to like just take it here. I can take all of it and I can go and replace it here. Instead of having app constants, Gemini API URL, I can just paste it there, but I'm just trying to make it look a bit cleaner. And then for the API key, it will be fetched from the .env here. You can see that I stored the API key. Okay, there's a variable called API key, which is the one we're using there, and it stores the information from the .env file that we had previously, where we got the Gemini API key. Kizungu. Okay, let's proceed. Yeah, so for the headers, we have some headers here. So this is actually the body that is supposed to be, okay, rather the format that Gemini takes. It will take, first of all, the URL, and then for the headers, we're going to be using we're going to be giving out some sort of a JSON file to the URL that you've seen here, plus your API key. And yeah, the body will be our prompt. I'll show you where our prompt is. So it will do some JSON encoding, and then our prompt. So let me just show you where our prompt is. I think it's in this file. So you can see that my prompt is also another variable which I'll get from app constant get freestyle prompt. So I have a function called get freestyle prompt, and it's taking in two inputs, the words and the genre, and I can get it here. So was it get freestyle prompt? This is the function, but it's been called in this file. So once I call that file, it should have a word and a genre. So once I call that, okay, you can see how it is, a word and a genre. So the word is a list of string, which means we'll be taking in a lot of words. In this case, I've limited it to, I think, around 6, something of that sort. Yeah, and then our prompt, how will I call it? Our body, because we're giving out a body in the form of a JSON and it should have the prompt. I want to show what the prompt is. So another thing you should learn here is prompt engineering. You have to like be good at telling AI what you want to do. Like you don't need to be, okay, actually you don't even need to be a good programmer. If you're a good prompt engineer, this is something you can do. So we have to make AI and the Gemini AI to understand what exactly we want it to do. And that's achievable by creating a very good prompt. So you can come and see that I have, okay, so this is the function, and I have a style guide calling, okay, I have a variable called style guide, and it's from a function called get genre style, and this is the get genre style. So it is taking an input of genre, and I want to check every combination of the genre. So let's say if I've chosen my genre to be Gengeton, it should return this style. So maybe how should Gengeton be? Gengeton is an urban Kenyan vibe, a mix of Swahili and English, Sheng, and it's street smart lyrics, heavy bass energy. So that's how I want to describe Gengeton to Google Gemini. If I want maybe something like reggae, I'll have to tell Gemini how exactly I want it to be. It's a Jamaican rhythm, laid back vibe, social consciousness, smooth flow, unity, and love themes. So that's our get genre style. It will be taking the genre that the user will input and getting that combination. So let's assume we've taken Gengeton as our genre. This is the style that we'll be having. And I think I'll go back here. So whatever prompt, you can see we have a return statement. So whatever the user picks, it will be stored here in the style guideline. So our style guide, in this case, in this case, if I choose Gengeton as my style guideline, it should return this whole thing and probably store it in this variable. So I want now to return this. So my prompt will be create a short freestyle verse in Gengeton, because this will be our genre, in Gengeton style, using these words. And then the words will be fetched from a list that I've created. So once you input, I'll show you practically how it works. Or rather, let me just do it right now. I think I'll connect my phone. Okay, let me get my IP address in a few. So I'll do ADB connect 192.168.100.100. Okay, I've connected to my phone and I think I'll be able to see it here. Yeah, so I'll open up. So this is the application. Let me show you how it works. So I was saying that let's assume we've selected Gengeton as our, okay, there are various genres here depending on what you want to pick. So assuming you've selected Gengeton, it will now get the genre style. How should Gengeton be? And we've seen, okay, let me try to make the screen to, yeah. So this is the style that Gengeton has and it will be returned there. So create a freestyle verse in Gengeton style using these words. So the words are the words that I'll put here. I can come and start something like coffee, mornings, what else? Alarm. Let me try to look for something else. Okay, CCNA. Okay, I'm just writing what I'm seeing on my sticky notes here in the wall. Accountability. Okay, it wasn't typing. Yeah, so once I've gotten, so this will be the words that will be used there. You can just look at them. Yeah, so it will be using those words. So create a short freestyle verse in Gengeton genre using these words. The words are coffee, mornings, alarm, CCNA, accountability. So the style guide will be whatever we got from the Gengeton style guide. So another good thing about prompt engineering, we now want to tell AI how we want it to be. So usually this happens, okay, a good thing about prompt engineering, you have to provide some things to AI. The first one is a context. Context is what type of content or style do you want? So I've specified that I want like all the words, okay, use all the words given. Okay, use all the given words naturally in the lyrics. Like the words should be there and they should be natural. The other thing is the constraints, like how long, or rather what format and what rules should we use. So we want it to be 8 to 16 lines. So the minimum should be 8, maximum 16. Don't exceed that and don't go below that. And yeah, we should also have like a clear expectation of the output. We can come and tell it, make it catchy, make it memorable, use simple, relatable language. And then for the words to include, these are the words that will include there. They will just come and be joined there. And then generate only the lyrics, no explanation. So if you try to compare whatever prompt I've given the AI to just telling AI, create a song for me, you can see that whatever we're doing here is a bit comprehensive because you're prompting it very well. Yeah, so I think I'll proceed to, okay, so this is what will happen. I mean, this is the, okay, we have another music genres here. So this is basically what you are seeing here. So for Gengeton, we have the Kenyan logo. Amapiano, we have a piano. So this is basically everything you're seeing here. I'll shrink that. We have the genre options, the same case to that. This is what will be used in the case statements down here. Yeah, and so this function, we are assuming we've already called that function, and we already have our prompt. We chose we'll be having Gengeton, and these are the words that we're having. So the function has been called, it will be passed as a JSON, and it will go now to the endpoint that we've set it in our app constant. So if I generate freestyle, you can see it will say drop-in bars, and we now have our freestyle. So you can see that it has generated some lyrics. We have alarm buzzing. You can see that alarm was part of our words. So we have alarm buzzing, Nima morning stena, coffee brewing, gotta chase this dream stena. We have coffee, kazi ni nyingi, hustle hard, no time for games, CCNA grind, we have CCNA hapo. Building my future, claiming my name, from zero to hero, that's the motto we live. Accountability is the key, gotta give and receive. Yeah, accountability, you can see it's there. So yeah, you can choose to copy it, or you can also, I can just clear it and you can use other words, something like kasongo. Yeah, we can use Ruto, and use police. Okay, Saba Saba. Okay, what are the words? Yeah, must go. Yeah, and we can come and try to choose, let's choose another genre. I'll use Kenyan pop, and I'll generate the freestyle. Yeah, so you can see that, okay, actually Gemini has identified that maybe from the words, this is somehow related to Kenya. Yeah, and also from the, how do we call it? You can remember that, okay, let me show you from the app constant. We have the Kenyan pop. Here's Kenyan pop. Yeah, so you can see that the style, it says that it's a modern Kenyan song. So you can see even the lyrics, it has identified that it's Kenyan. And before we sing this song, I hope hakuna DCI hapa or karao, like, just to be safe. So you can see that Nairobi streets, feeling the heat, Kasongo burning slow, another day, same old story, where the good people go. Ruto's in the news again, another headline, another show, Sabasaba vibes fading fast, something's gotta change, you know. Police sirens wailing loud, a familiar mournful sound, corruption's got a tight grip, buried deep in the ground. Systems broken, needs a fix before. Okay, you can see that all the words are there. I'm not that much of a musical guy. I've seen Washington is in the call. Yeah, maybe you can do an instrumental version of this using the lyrics. Yeah, so there's also another feature. You also get to have like a remix. I can decide to remix this with another genre. So I can come and, yeah, let's dedicate it to God. I think there's gospel. Where's gospel? Yeah, let's remix it with gospel. We see if maybe something might change. Yeah, so you can see we have verses, Nairobi streets, feel the burning heat, Kasongo's fire low, another day, the same old fight, where does the righteous go, Ruto's name upon the breeze. Okay, I'm trying to look for, okay, I can see there's the word hope, we have a chorus, oh Lord have mercy, hear our plea, police hey, siren cry, a mournful symphony, corruption's chain. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of words there. But anyway, Ruto must go. So I want to show you how the remix works. So we have another function called get remix prompt. Once I press this button here and choose another genre, I've called this function. And how exactly does it work? It will take the original lyrics. The original lyrics are the ones that are already generated here. These are the original lyrics. And then we'll also be having a new genre. So once I remix, it's taking the original lyrics and let me pick a new genre, which is rap. So you can see that it's using those two, the original lyrics and the new genre, to return another prompt. We are again are going to be making another call to Gemini, telling it take these lyrics and remix them into, we chose rap, into rap style. So the original lyrics will be the lyrics that are already here. They are being stored in a variable. So the requirements keep the core message and the words. So in as much as it is remixing, we want to tell Gemini to still keep the message, keep the Nairobi hit, the message that is in the song to be kept, and then to adapt the flow and the rhythm. In the first part, we were crying about Kasongo. When we added gospel, we still want to adapt the rhythm. So we are still crying, but now we are now asking God to help us. And yeah, change the energy to match the rap vibe and then make it feel authentic to the genre, keep it around the same length, and genre only the remixed lyrics, not no explanation. So it will, yeah, I think I've explained how exactly the thing works. Maybe I can take a few questions from the chat. Yeah, I can see DCI joined. Yeah, you can ask your questions in case you have any question, or you can also list your some lyrics that we can use to generate some songs. You can list down your lyrics while you wait for people to ask questions in case you need clarification anywhere. Yeah, everyone can just drop a word so that we can get, yeah, you can create a song. Okay, how is styling in Flutter being done? Do we use CSS? Oh, not really, we don't use CSS. Okay, for Flutter, let me just use an example. Okay, for the styling, we usually use, okay, Flutter is all about widgets. Like right now, everything you see on this screen is a widget. This upper part is a widget. This text is a widget. So let me just go to the home page. Let me go to the home page. So I'll open up the screen, home screen.dat. Okay, just a minute. So I have a safe area column, size box, genre selector. Yeah, let me open genre selector. Yeah, so you can see I have a widget called genre selector. This is this part here where I'm going to select my genre. So you first of all have to describe what everything will be doing. Okay, you can see that we have the choose your vibe. This is a widget and you can see it's here. It's a text widget. So I'll just come and say choose your vibe and then you style it immediately. So I'm going to style it using, I created another file for the theme. So you can see that my theme will be title large. It will have a font weight of 700 and the color will be this bluish something. So you can see that's how I style it. If I move on to, there's a space between the choose your vibe and this other thing here. That will be a size box. Sorry, the size box is actually surrounding the whole genre selector. Let's say we have, I want to look for a very good example here. Yeah, okay, so for the, okay, I'll call this, how will I call it? It's not, let me just call it a card. So this is a card, this is another card. You can see it has various inputs. That's a text. It has a text inside it. So, okay, I'm really trying to look for you to explain it. Yeah, so you'll have to define your text, the size, the color, And then you also have, if you need some spacing outside here, you'll have to define it. Okay, basically everything is a widget, and you have to give everything its own property. If it's the text, you have to give it the size, you have to give it everything, the size, the width, the everything. Okay, I'm not really sure if I've answered that, but I'm really trying. Yeah, we can use it in, it's okay, React. Does it work the same as React? Yeah, it works the same as React. It works the same as React, I guess, probably. It's a long time since I've done React, but yeah, I think it works the same. You have a widget for everything. Like right now, you can see I'm sharing this call, and everything here is a widget. This button that is telling you to leave is a widget on its own. It has the icon, it has the color. So that's how we style. You usually don't have like some sort of a CSS file. Yeah, you style whatever widget or component that you're working with. Yeah, so okay, so how do you get your phone to work as the simulator? That's why I drew Android Studio. Okay. Okay, so for my case, there are various ways you can. Okay, first of all, if you want to, you can use an emulator. That's a virtual emulator. You can pick it, you can download it from Android Studio, but I usually prefer just using my phone as a physical emulator. You can connect it using a USB cable, like your phone and your laptop, and it will show it here. So you have to enable, I think, let me show you from my phone. You have to enable developer options. You usually get it by going to my phone, and yeah, there's a build number here. You just press it like 7 times, but you can see mine, I'm already a developer. So once you've done that, you'll enable developer options, and it's somewhere here, developer options. And this is where you can now use USB debugging. But for my case, I'm using wireless debugging. Yeah, because I'm also not a fan of connecting my phone directly to the laptop in order to do that. So I'm using ADB. ADB is Android Debug Bridge. So okay, how I did it, let me just show you. I just opened up my terminal, and I did an ADB. First of all, I connected my phone to my laptop using USB, and then I did TCP/IP. And so the port that it usually uses is 5555. So this allows you to sort of open a bridge so that your laptop can now access your phone wirelessly. So once I've connected them, I can just press enter. And okay, you can see it has restarted. And once I've done that, I should get, okay, my phone and my laptop should be on the same wireless network. So once I've done that, I can get the IP address of my phone. Okay, just a minute. So I can get my IP address, the IP address of my phone, and once I've done that, it should connect to the phone. You don't have to do it using a lot of, okay, you can also use this thing here. It allows you to just scan the QR code and it will connect. Yeah. Yes, Washington, I've answered that. Yeah, I'm still waiting for your lyrics so that we can generate another last song, and then I can show you how to deploy it. So everyone on the call should give me at least one word, just one word, a word that maybe you like or hate the most. So everyone to provide one word. Okay, one term, developer, power. Okay, where are the ladies? Okay, I guess we can work with one term, developer, and power. So okay, let me just go back to my app and clear all that. So we've said one term, developer, power. Any other words? Murema. Okay, I think I'll pick the last one. The last word. Okay, puppet. So someone to pick a genre that we can use. What genre will you want? We have gengeton, amapiano, afrobeat, Kenyan pop, gospel, R&B, rap, dancehall, reggae, drill, trap, jazz, bongo flava, lingala, country, pop, rock, blues, funk, and soul. So someone to pick a genre. These are the genres available. So the first person to pick a genre, I'll pick that. Yeah, Charles has said Kenyan pop. So I'll pick Kenyan pop. Let me share my screen. I'll pick Kenyan pop and I'll generate a freestyle from that. Yeah, so you can see Nairobi streets, hustle hard, one term, chasing dreams, building empires, that's the plan. From the ground up, I'm a developer, see the vision, with the power in my hands, ain't no more division, my Murema strong, my spirit bright and bold, won't be nobody's puppet, story to be told, breaking free from chains, rewriting my fate, no more shadows, no more waiting, it ain't too late. I'm taking control, the power is mine to wield, planting seeds of greatness in this fertile field. One term, watch me rise above. This ain't a game, it's a testament of my love for the struggle, for the dream, for the life I create. Okay, I'm not a musician. I know that sounded like poetry. I'll just copy it in the chat in case maybe one of you is a musician, you'll get some bars to use in your music. Yeah, I know Akina Washington, Hapo Hivo, they can represent us. So the next step we'll be doing, we're going to be deploying this application on Firebase. So I guess we're done with this. Actually, okay, we are done with this, but you can just go through ZV2PT. So first of all, you can decide to change your package name or your app name. Okay, let's say I want to just change it. Okay, I'm looking for, what am I looking for? How is it called? Aircom dot. Okay, you can just come and look for this package, this app ID, and you can change it maybe to be something like com.recmoas, depending on maybe how you want it. So every application on Play Store usually has a unique app ID. So you can look for, okay, let me just look for any other combination. I can also come here, change this, but okay, let me return my app ID. So you can just come and change. Okay, the app ID is usually in the following files. The first one is in the build.gradle, which is under Android app build Gradle. So you can come and find it here. So I'll just come and, okay, by default when you clone the repository you'll find it's Alex Mwaniki. So you can come and change it. The other one is in the, where did you leave it? The other one is in the app. We left it somewhere here. Yeah, this is the first one. And there's another combination, I think, down here. Yeah, here. You'll also come and edit that one to suit your name and maybe the name of your app. And the last one is in the main activity.kt file. So this is usually linked in the source, main, yeah, I guess Kotlin, com example, freestyle, main activity. So you can just come and edit it, give it your name, probably something like that. So just to have a unique ID. because assuming if you're to take this app and publish it on Play Store using my IDs, it will refuse because an app with that ID already exists. Yeah, the app is actually already on Play Store. I think it should be launched probably before the weekend. It will be live on Play Store. So yeah, and once you've changed that, you can also decide to change your app name to give it another name. I can decide to look for maybe just if I don't like the name Freestyle, I can look for the part where the app is called Freestyle and just edit it to just suit whatever you want, but the functionality is still the same. And yeah, actually we won't be using this. So we'll just come here and let's create a Firebase project so that we can publish our application. So as we do that, because I know this usually takes a lot of time, we want to create an APK file. So I'll just do Flutter. So we're going to be building an APK file. So Flutter build APK, and then yeah, it's a release. We'll say it's a release, and we'll leave it to work. It will take some time, so I've said we do it fast. So we'll come and create a Firebase project. You'll go to console.firebase.google.com. And we're going to be creating a new Firebase project. We can call it, yeah, let's call it Freestyle. Yeah, you can call it Freestyle. Okay, I'm not sure it's not telling me continue. Okay, yeah, Freestyle, continue. Yeah, we'll just continue. Analytics, okay, recommended, not recommended, it doesn't matter. And I can also leave it like that, continue. Okay, it now matters. Let me just go back and disable it because I have nothing to link it to. So I'll give it some time while it's generating, while it's creating the project, and you can see that my app is still building. So what we are trying to do is to compile this whole, we are trying to compile this whole code base into something a bit lightweight, a small APK file, which is in the form of a release. When you're coding, it's usually in debug form. So yeah, my Firebase project is ready. We'll do continue. Once we've done that, we can now come to, okay, actually I've messed up somewhere. I'll do a Control C. Yeah, so let me just cancel that. Okay, I'll come and pick an app that I want to work with. So my app will be an Android. There's iOS, there is web, Unity, Flutter. So I'll just pick an Android and I'll give it my package name or app ID. So com.alexmaniki.freestyle. This is the one that we were editing. And my nickname, I'll just still call it Freestyle because we're doing some freestyle. So I'll register the application and I'll be given, how do we call it? I'll be given a Google service.json file. So I'll download it and it's usually stored inside the, so I look for Freestyle. It's usually stored in the Android app. So this is where it's stored, Android and app. So it will download. If I go back to Android Studio, let me close all this. I can find my Google service JSON. So whatever I'm doing, I'm just linking Firebase to the project. I'm linking Firebase to, how do you call that thing? To my application. I'm linking my application to Firebase. Okay, so I'll open lib, not lib, but Android app, and here's my Google service.json file. So yeah, once it's linked, I can just do next. Okay, I'll ignore all this, so next, and continue to console. So once I have the Google service JSON, I can now come back here and do the Flutter, how do you call it? Flutter build APK. And we'll have to wait for like 5 minutes for you to finish finished. So I'll go back to the call and take a few questions. Okay, Samuel APIs. Yeah, there's this resource. Okay, I'm not sure that's the URL. Let me check. Yeah, that's the URL. So there's a course by Postman that will learn APIs from scratch. There's also a video I created, I think some years ago, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you can also go to YouTube and watch this video that I created, understanding of APIs. So the first one is a course which you'll get certified as a Postman student expert. You'll get to like work with labs and everything, and get to learn how APIs work. Yeah, and the second is a video. This maybe upotee pahali, you can just go and cheat and yeah. So while we are still waiting for the app to build, I can see already my Android machine, but let's have hopes. So anyone who has a question or if you have a story, you can tell us a story. Or we can introduce ourselves maybe. Okay, so we'll give it some time for it to work. So this is the GitHub repository. It's free. It's also, you want to make a pull request, you can just do it. There's no right, there's nothing. It's all yours to enjoy. You can just do it. Maybe add a part where you can now listen to the audio part of it. Yeah, just go and explore the capabilities of AI. So that's the repository. Yes, Samuel, I think I can build with AI for Rift Valley. Yeah, I might come, but I'm not promising. I might come. Yeah. We were to come as a school, but unfortunately, we've been given an invitation, but unfortunately, we're not in session at the moment. That's why we're even doing this virtually, but we will have come. Okay, this usually takes a lot of time, but we'll be patient. You can also pick your attendee badges here while we wait for that. You can scan the QR code to receive your attendee badge and let everyone know that you attended Build with AI 2025. Remember also there'll be swags. So yeah, you can be creative, do something with Gemini, do something with Flutter, and share it. Share it on social media, tag us. You might win swag. So let's see. Okay, any questions? Okay, this is the QR code. Yeah, so the app is it's currently in testing phase on Play Store. So in case you want to become a tester, you can just share your email with me, and here's the link. Yeah. Okay, so I've gotten some error. So let's see. Okay, my laptop is hanging. So let me just, I think we are done with this Android Studio part. Let me just open, say we can build it, and yeah, let's see. So I'll open my project in Git Bash. This is one of the disadvantages of Android Studio. My CPU is really, really high. Okay. Okay, in the meantime, maybe, okay, it has finished. So I think I'll say what I wanted to say when we're done. Yes, so you can say that I already have my APK file, that has been downloaded, and it's stored in app outputs Flutter APK. So I'll just go and I'll go back to Firebase. I'll select all products and I'll look for app distribution. So app distribution. Yeah, and I'll click get started. Okay. So you'll be asked to drop your APK file, so I'll just browse it. And I'll navigate to freestyle app. Is up. Was it app? Yeah, it should be in build app outputs Flutter APK app release.apk. So I'll give it some time to upload to. Okay, that was fast. Yeah, I'll give it some. I think it has already finished. Okay. So once you're done with that, you can now add testers. So testers are normally someone who, if you want someone to test your application. So I can just use my email, liquid254@gmail.com. Or if you have some sort of a group, you can use your group instead. But in this case, let me just have that one email and I'll click next. And then for release notes, release notes are usually what you have. Okay, what are release notes? They're just notes. Let me get release notes from my Play console. Okay, I guess it's in. Okay, basically release notes are just telling users what your app is about. I'm looking for a way to just copy paste it. I'm so lazy to think right now. And I can't find my release notes. Okay, let me just copy that. And I'll paste it. So I'll distribute the app to the testers that have provided their email. But you can also take a link, an invite link. You can create an invite link so that anyone who accepts this. Okay, right now I don't have a. Okay, let me create a tester group. I'll create a group called freestyle. Let me call it rappers. And this will be my group. So I want to create an invite link. Everyone who clicks on the link will be added to this group and they'll be given an email to download the app. So I'll just copy that link and I can also share it on the chat in case you want to download the app. Yeah. So yeah, so I guess that's it. Once you've gotten the link, you'll be prompted to enter your email. And once you enter your email, you'll now get an email again with the app so that you get to install it on your phone. So this is one way where you can easily publish your application you can publish your application. Yeah, in case you don't have a Play Console account. And it's much easier than having a Play Console account because I can see that my application has again been pushed. So it will be published again in the next 14 days because I never had testers. Yeah, I guess that's all. That's how you publish an application. That's how you integrate Gemini into your application. And yeah, I guess we are done. So unless anyone has a question, you can type it in the chat or unmute and ask. If you have a compliment, if you have a, what else? Question, compliment, remarks, vote of thanks, hizo vitu zote. Just feel free to kufungua roho. Feel free to unmute. Okay, you can see there's a question in the chat. Yeah, thanks Samuel for attending. Yeah, thanks a lot. And thanks everyone also for joining. Also, don't forget tomorrow we'll be meeting again here. I'll be speaking again. Tomorrow you're going to be vibe coding. We'll build an entire full stack application using Firebase Studio. Yeah, so make sure you come with your friends. We're going to be vibe coding and deploying also an application on the internet. Yeah, so guys, I guess if there are no further questions, we can end the meeting there. So don't forget to pick your badges, attendee badges. Yeah, let me just share that screen instead. And the call was live on YouTube. So in case you want to refer it in the future, the link will be shared too. About Play Store credits, akunanga credits. Yeah, for you to publish an app to Play Store, you have to pay an initial amount of $25. It's a one-time fee. Once you've paid it, that's enough. It's not like websites where you have to like pay for every website. You just get a Play Console account and you can publish as many apps as you want. So that's one good thing about mobile development, but they are very strict. You can wake up one day and your account is closed, you violate certain rules, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But hakunanga credits. I've never heard of credits. Yeah, so thank you all for joining. You can leave at your own pleasure. Good night.